Hey everybody, it's Pastor Scott, and this is Real Talk. This is our weekly video check-in series where we get a chance to connect with you and talk to you about what's going on here at the church and in the community. And I just wanted to spend some time with you today because you ever have those God winks where you feel like God's like trying to tell you something? So yesterday, I was reading in this book. This is Light of the World. This is the book that we're using to help us with our sermon series by Amy Jill Levine, The Light of the World. And this week's chapter is called The Promise of Potential. But I was reading this, and I'll read this and it will kind of maybe help set up the rest of this. When we do not have details, and this is about storytelling, when we don't have details and we want to know more, we tell stories. And the storytelling helps fill in the gaps of information. And it also provides another launching point or a rise to tell more stories. And I thought about that. I was like, yeah, storytelling is something that I enjoy doing. It gives us an opportunity. I think this is one of the things that, as pastors, whenever we preach, telling stories about personal experiences always help as well. So last night, I went out with some old friends, some referee buddies. There was two of our friends that were refereeing the basketball game at American University last night. So a bunch of us went out to watch, and then we went out to dinner afterwards, and we were just sharing these stories after stories, and it was just lots of fun and laughter, and just we had such a great time. And I was driving home, and I was like, gosh, storytelling is really important. And then when I got in this morning, the first thing I saw on my shelf was this book. This is actually a book about me. Um, don't worry about the baby picture. This is a present my wife gave me for my 50th birthday a couple of years ago. We couldn't do anything for COVID. We weren't able to celebrate, go to a restaurant or a ball game or whatever it was we were going to do. And but this was a nice present because it is filled with memories and pictures, and like this picture here you can see of me. I am dressed up in this Danish outfit. When we were young, my parents and my aunts and uncles made my cousins and I get dressed up in these outfits. We'd have to hold hands and we'd dance around the tree singing songs, and we hated it. It was awful. Our parents loved it. They thought it was the greatest thing ever. That picture, I'm actually crying in it because I hated it, and I hated getting dressed up, and um, it was just it was an awful experience. And I think back on those days, and I wish I could get dressed up like that again, and be with my cousins and my aunts and uncles, and I look through these things, and every one of these pictures that's in here. This is a picture of my state championship soccer team. Yep, that is me right here, the goalie in the upper corner there with the light blue shirt. Yes, I did have hair. Yes, I did have abs. This is a picture over here. That's me and my soccer coach at a reunion. This is when I was still trying to hold on to hair. But all these great stories that we have in life, and we should share them more. Storytelling is such an important and vital piece of what we do. So my message for you this week as we go through these things, like oh, I love this. This is we had a mission trip that we did in Allendale, and you'll see here in this picture here, the little girl in the white shirt. That's my daughter Madison. It was her very first mission trip. She left crying 'cause she didn't want to go, and she just had an amazing time, just being able to help people. And she's like, "How can we go again?" And that's really what you want. And so I think about all these different things and all these different pictures, and this is annual conference with a bunch of pastors, and it's just it's so fun to look back and see a lot of these things. And as I go through this, and I think about all the different things that we go through in life, and I go through these pictures. Every one of the pictures has a story. So the message for us is, we were talking about this past week, that we live in a world of darkness right now, and while we can see that there's light ahead of us, it's still a struggle sometimes. And being able to tell stories and being able to share information and being able to just connect with people, is such a beautiful thing. It gives us an opportunity to go out and be able to um, share the good news, of your life. Like there's nothing better than a good story sitting around a table with some friends or by a fire pit and having everybody laugh. Or, I mean, if you're moved to laughter or tears um, or whatever emotion it is, storytelling can be an amazing opportunity. So as you go through the next few weeks, as we're still in the darkness, as we move forward and we see the light that's coming uh, very soon in December. That's a very important piece for us as Christians. We know what's coming. You've heard the story uh, lots of times, but it's so nice to hear it again every year. The Savior is going to be born. The three wise men are going to travel to Bethlehem, and there's going to be the Messiah born. There's nothing better than that story, and I love hearing it every year. You should also be telling your stories. It's a great way to transfer information. It's a great way to enjoy each other. Um, there's just so many things that are great about storytelling. So that's my challenge to you. As you go through the next few weeks, you're going to be visiting with family, visiting with friends. You might catch up with old friends that are coming in town. You might be catching up with college friends. You might be seeing family that you haven't seen in a while because of COVID or whatever else. Tell stories. Ask everybody to share a story. Do you remember this? Or do you remember when we did that? Or I have so many great stories that I remember that it's so fun to see friends and family members and be able to relive some of those memories and share a laugh. Um, Sometimes those are the best times in our lives. And right now, when we're in this darkness, we need all the positives we can get. And so, as we prepare for the Messiah and we get to hear that story again, let's remember not to hold our own stories back. Share those. They're so important to be able to experience those and enjoy those again. They're good times. So with that, that's all I got this week. I just want to make sure that everybody knows that we're we're, we're heading down this great path. December 1st is tomorrow. Um, I can't wait to be done with finals. You can see my board behind me here. But I am so excited to be able to see old friends and family and be able to share stories and to be able to hear the story again of the Christ being born. Thanks be to God. Have a great week.